Chapter 14. Sri Sadguru said, Ishwara Muni, the son of Natha Muni, performed the wedding ceremony of his son Yamunacharya, who had attained youth. While his son Yamunacharya was rolling in pleasures in the king's palace, Natha Muni, the Yogishwara, prepared to attain the divine abode. Natha Muni's disciple Pundarikaksha had a disciple of his own named Rama Mishra. He was a Vaishnavottama and an adept in all Shastras. Once he took his Guru's children to the river very kindly. After the bath, he was taking them home. As it was muddy on the way home, he went by crawling, keeping the children on his back. Coming to know of the humility of Sri Rama Mishra and the ignorance of the children, Pundarikaksha became very sad. Natha Muni called Rama Mishra nearer with all affection and spoke to him as follows with eyes filled with tears. Natha Muni said, O Vaishnavottama, cast your influence on Yamunacharya, who is immersed in the pleasures of king's palace. Somehow take him at once to the great holy center, Sri Rangam, and show him Sri Ranganatha, the consort of Devi Lakshmi, the overlord of all the worlds, an ancestral family asset of the Vaishnavas. Sri Sadguru continued, having spoken thus, that great yogi, Natha Muni, did pranayama, a practice of controlling the breath, and meditating upon the Lord, with the help of his mystic powers, he attained the divine abode. Later, the most fortunate Rama Mishra had the last rites of Sri Natha Muni performed according to the Brahmameda rules by the later son Ishwara Muni. He remained grief-stricken after that. In order to give effect to the words of his Guru, the Vaishnavottama, Sri Rama Mishra, reached the king's palace and managed to meet Yamunacharya. On seeing Rama Mishra, the Vaishnavottama, Yamunacharya stood up with folded palms, paid respects to him, and made enquiries. Yamunacharya spoke, O Vaishnavottama, welcome. I am blessed to have met you. Command me to do whatever you want. I am at your disposal. Rama Mishra replied, O Swami, I am a disciple of your grandfather Natha Muni. O wise man, your family property is with me. Please accept it. Yamunacharya said, O Yogindra, please give it to me at once. I know that you will experience peace of mind handing it over to me, as you are a man of total detachment and a great Brahmanottama. Rama Mishra replied, That property is enormous in size. I cannot take it in hand and give it to you. Hence, please come with me so that I can show it to you. Sri Sadguru continued, Thus told by Yogi Rama Mishra, Yamunacharya set out along with him to Sri Rangam, induced by the desire to see that property. Rama Mishra took Yamunacharya to the main sanctum of the Sri Rangam temple and showed him Lord Keshava lying on the serpent bed of Adisesha. Yamunacharya had the darshan of Lord Ranganatha, whose complexion is bluish like that of the gem sapphire, who is lotus-eyed, who had a very broad chest, who is omnipresent, who is adorned with the Kaustuba gem around his neck, who has long limbs, who is extraordinarily majestic, who is keen on protecting the world, who has eyes closed in a seeming sleep in a yogic posture, who has charming countenance resembling the full moon, who is extolled by the Vedas, who is the supreme master of the universe, who is the immortal Purushottama, the nectarine accounts of whose glories of unfathomable magnitude are very pious, who is the very ocean of compassion, who is worshipped by even Brahma, Rudra, and the like, who is extremely pleasing to the eyes, who is at the helm of all the Devas, whose lotus face is beaming with a very charming smile, who is lying down comfortably on the serpent bed of Adisesha, who is adored by all noble Bhagavatas, whose lotus feet are affectionately tended to by Devi Lakshmi, and who has graced Vibhishana with his boons, and whose glories are sung highly by intense devotees like Vishnuchitta. Thus, seeing Lord Ranganatha, Yamunacharya became spellbound, and tears of ineffable joy trickled down his cheeks. Looking at Sri Bhagavan from his head to foot in this beautiful form that captivates the mind and the eyes, Yamunacharya was stirred with spiritual joy. Holding his palms folded above his head, he spoke to Ramamishra as follows. Yamunacharya said, O illustrious preceptor, I am blessed. I am immensely blessed. Yes, I am greatly blessed. It is surprising that I have come into possession of this asset of mine. Thus my life has become fruitful. O Brahmanottama, I was not aware of the presence of this priceless asset. Attaching value to cheap artificial beads of glass, I have simply been wasting my life. O Swami, causeless mercy has lifted me up from the well of mundane world. O Gurudeva, I have no words to express my gratitude to you. O Lord, after gaining possession of this magnificent family property, I shall not go back to the king's palace any more. Let me be blessed with the residence here itself, as I have gained total detachment from worldly life. Sri Sadguru continued. Having spoken thus, Yamunacharya considered all the three worlds to be no more than a blade of grass. He immersed himself in the bliss born of enjoying the enchanting beauty and radiant charm of the countenance of Lord Sri Ranganatha. Thus, showing Sri Ranganatha's grace to him, Ramamishra obtained great joy. Fulfilling the wish of his Guru, he was relieved of anxiety. From that day, the Vaishnavottama Yamunacharya took to a life of an ascetic. Residing at Srirangam, he was worshipping the Lord Ranganatha regularly. Great men like Ramanuja became the disciples of Yamunacharya, who rejuvenated the Bhagavata Dharma that had almost become extinct. Mahatma Yamunacharya is considered the patriarch of the family of us all who claim the right to follow the Bhagavata Dharma. Thus ends chapter 14, entitled Yamunacharya Charitam of Book 2 of Sri Vaishnava Samhita, composed by Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal.